Welcome to Automated Visual Software Analytics. This part is about visual analytics. We will introduce principles of visual analytics and the visual analytics process. We will also see some examples of visual analytics. What is the scope of visual analytics? Visual analytics is a multidisciplinary approach, as you can see in this diagram. Visual analytics includes scientific fields such as statistical analytics, knowledge discovery, data management, and knowledge representation, including data mining. It also includes disciplines from the visual sciences such as interactive systems, cognitive and perceptual sciences, or information analytics. If data has geospatial references, the field of geospatial analytics plays a role as well. So what we can see is that visual analytics goes far beyond data mining or data-oriented analytics. It includes visual technologies, visual sciences as well. So how can we define visual analytics? Well, visual analytics combines concepts of analytics with concepts of information visualization and scientific visualization. So this is one of the key definitions for visual analytics. It's both analytics and information visualization. Visual analytics integrates and exploits this way capabilities of the human visual system, perception and cognition, to build highly efficient and effective strategies and techniques that enable exploring, analyzing, reasoning, and decision-making. There are different definitions around for visual analytics. One, for example, a very short one, is given here. Visual analytics is a science of analytical reasoning facilitated by interactive visual interfaces. That's a key difference to analytics. Visual analytics is more than just visualization and can rather be seen as an integrated approach combining visualization, human factors, and data analysis. This is another short definition of visual analytics. Let's see where visual analytics began. Here's an historic example of visual analytics, the map of London from John Snow. He produced a map about data he found from the outbreak of cholera 1854. He used a dot map to visualize the cases on a city map. He marked each case by a bar. The number of cases have been mapped as little bars. And this way he could visually explore, using this map, the reasons he was looking for, the cause and effect relationships at that time. This technique enabled him to discover the relationship between housing and water pumps. Actually, in this area, there was a contaminated water pump that caused a high number of deaths. This is just one example how visual analytics can help us to explore and better understand, to comprehend complex data. Have a look at this example. What is being visualized? Think for one moment, what could this be? Of course, it's a geographic region, the US. This can easily be detected. But what about the represented information by these little cells, these Voronoi cells? It's a map that shows the nearest distance to a certain restaurant in the US. And once we know about this, we can read this visual representation. For example, we can reason about why are there larger gaps here. We can reasoning about the different density of restaurants and so forth. So this is just one example of visual analytics that combines data analytics and information visualization principles. Visual analytics is using a certain process model that is illustrated here. Basically, we start with data, maybe we transform data, and then we map data to something that can be visualized. In this area here, we have the visualization pipeline. Once it's visualized, the user can interact with the representation, the visual representation, and by interacting, he typically or she typically gathers knowledge, derives insights. And the visualization, of course, is based on models. And the user, at any time, can control data transformation, data mapping, model building, model visualization, and all corresponding parameters. This way, users can combine their creativity and background knowledge with analytics techniques. In contrast to information visualization, in visual analytics, we have a different principle way we operate with these techniques, the so-called mantras. In information visualization, we have this visual information seeking mantra: overview first, zoom and filter, then details on demand. Whereas in visual analytics, we start with analyze first, shows the important, zoom filter and analyze further, and then details on demand. So there's a small difference, but an important one between both approaches. Visual analytics uses information visualization within a larger process. Visual analytics, what are the general tasks? General tasks include, of course, the synthesis of information from big data or complex data to get insights, actionable insights into big data or complex data. To do so, we need ways to detect the expected or to discover the unexpected. Of course, we also need timely, defensible, and understandable assessments based on visual analytics results. And of course, we want to have assessments that are effectively for action, and we would like to be able to communicate these assessments. Yes, this is what visual analytics provides users. To design and develop visual analytics techniques, we have to cope with different challenges. Of course, we have to cope with data-oriented challenges and, on the other side, with visualization-oriented challenges. To handle and to cope with big data, we have to find efficient data gathering, fusion, and integration techniques. For example, we have to find appropriate data mining and data analysis techniques, and we have to handle characteristics of big data with respect to the volume, velocity, variability, variety, veracity, and complexity, these characteristic elements of big data. On the other side, with respect to visualization, we have to cope with finding the right metaphors, especially for unstructured or semi-structured data. We also have to find space-efficient and graphics-oriented data mapping techniques, and we have to find comprehensible user interactions. This is just these are just examples of challenges we typically encounter when we start with developing visual analytics technology or techniques. Let's summarize this part. Visual analytics combines algorithmic and technological strength of analytics with approaches known from information visualization and scientific visualization that in summary, take advantage of the human visual system to effectively analyze visual media. Visual analytics offers a framework of principles, concepts, methods, and techniques. They are adopted and extended for the scope of software development and software engineering, leading to visual software analytics. So in visual software analytics, basically we start with visual analytics and ask, how can we adapt, extend, or modify techniques to reflect the specific nature of data in software engineering. But the principles, the underlying process models are the same. Yeah, this concludes this part about visual analytics. Some terminology. Visual analytics combines principles of analytics with principles of information visualization. It integrates visualization as an essential means to explore, analyze, and understand big data, and all this supported by the human visual system. Yeah, as further reading, I can recommend, for example, this article, Visual Data Mining, the chapter about visual analytics, scope, and challenges. Visual analytics, this expression, this term, was initially coined by a book called Illuminating the Path, the Research and Development Agenda for Visual Analytics 2005. It's also worth to study this initial manifesto about visual analytics. Yeah, finally, some remarks. Visual methods are frequently used and represent key elements, in particular for interactive visual interfaces of analytics systems and applications. Also, visual analytics offers a large, let's say, construction kit or building blocks that can be used to construct, to build domain-specific visual analytics tools and techniques, such as in the case of visual software analytics, where we also combine different approaches in visual analytics to get precise and effective mappings of software data and to interact with these mappings in a way that we get hopefully insights about software development processes into source code and into system dynamics and evolution.